max my heartbeat. Students, in the previous videos I have started relations and functions, and we have completed them about relations starting from sets, because when we want to know about a relation we need to about a set, which is must and should, means the basic definition related to relations is the set. From the sets only we are deriving a relation, and from the relation only we are deriving a function. So from set we can go for relation, and from relation we can go for function. This is a step-by-step process. So in today's concept, let us know more detail about types of functions. Okay, so let us recap first what we have discussed in our previous video. So in our previous video we have discussed about definition of function, means when a relation can be said a function. A relation can be said a function is nothing but, for a relation to become a function, every element of A must be mapped. Means for every element of A there must be an image in B. Okay, that is the meaning of the first sentence. Next, all elements in A must have exactly one image. Means for every element of A there must be exactly one image in B. Okay. Next, domain, codomain and range of a function. These also we have discussed. Okay, once again I will explain roughly. Let us see first. Next, types of functions: one function, many one function, onto and into functions. So just explain in detail once again all this by taking examples. Okay, only two examples I will take, for one which is function and the other which is not a function. And from the one function which is from one relation, from the first relation only I will explain what is a domain, codomain and range also. Okay, for suppose I am taking a function f from A to B like this. So what are the elements of this function? Means A, B, C, D and P, Q, R, S. So examples. First example and second example. Same A, B, C, D. P, Q, R, S. Okay. Now what I will do means I will map every element of A with the element of B like this. Here what I will do means now you so in the first example, here also this is set A and this is set B. Here this is a function from A to B. It's not a relation. We can't say this is a function. Just let us see what a relation. This is also a relation before going to functions. Okay. So now after seeing the relation, we have to decide whether it is a function or not. So for a relation to be a function, two conditions must and should be satisfied. The first condition is every element of A should be mapped. From the diagram it is clear that every element of A is mapped to every element of B here. Yes, and should have only one image here. Yes, anyhow these are all having only one image. The image of A is P, image of B is Q, image of C is R and image of D is S. Okay, so this I can call it as a function. Why? Because my two conditions are satisfied here. Now let us move to our second example. Here every element of A should be mapped. Is every element of A is mapped here? No, B is not mapped here. Okay, and every element of A should have only one image. But C is having how many images here? Two images. So first condition is also failed and second condition is also failed. So this is not a function. Understood? When we are failing in the first condition, no need to check the second condition. Understood? Why? Because clearly we can say that every element of A is not mapped here, so that this is not a function. Okay? For the function A, first example, let us find out domain, codomain and range. Okay? So now domain. Domain for the first function is the complete set A. Why? Because when a relation is becoming a function, then every element of A must and should be mapped. So that every element of A will be in the set of domain. Okay. Next, codomain. Codomain also, every element of set B, even if it is mapped or not mapped. So PQRS is the codomain here. Next, range. Range means whatever the elements of B mapped, those are all the range here. Okay, this is how we have to find out domain, codomain and range. Okay, now let us see the variations in domain, codomain and range. Okay, domain will never change. Why? Because in a function every element of A should be mapped. So only codomain and range will change here. Anyhow, codomain also change, will also not change, only the range will change depending on the number of elements mapped. Okay, in the second function, second set, that is codomain. Okay, now you see here also every element of A is mapped here, and every element of A is having unique image, means only one, not unique image, one and only one image, right? Even though C is having R as the image and D is having R the image, every element of A is mapped and having only one image, right? So now in the codomain set, PQRS complete set will come, but in the range we have to write only mapped elements. So here S is not mapped. So in the range we will get only PQR. Understood the difference between codomain and range? Yes. So this is detailed explanation about domain, codomain and range. Next, let us move to our types of functions. So again here also I am taking two functions, A to B and A to B. So this is a function from A to B and this is also a function from A to B. So now here I am taking 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us change the example now. And here I am taking A, B, C, D. Now here what I will do means I will take A, B, C, D in the first set, and here I will take 1, 2, 3, 4. I am not reversing the sets, just I am taking for my convenience and this also. Okay. Now what I will do means I will map every element of A with every other element of B. Okay. Then here what I will do means I will map every element of A like this. Okay. Now if you observe here, every element of A is mapped with every other element of B. Means every element of A is having unique image here. Means no two elements are mapped to the same element of B here. So such a function is called one function. Okay. Now let us go to many one function. Many one function means more than one element of A is mapped to the same element in B. Okay, here C and D are mapped to 4 here, irrespective of the remaining elements in codomain. Okay, we can left over with the codomain values, but not to keep any element of A without mapping. Then it will never be a function. So here every element of A is mapped, right? And every element of A is having one and only one image. Yes, but here C and D are mapped with same element 4. Okay, so such a function is called many one function. Okay. Next, onto function. Onto function means codomain and range of the function should be same. So codomain. So codomain of B is A, B, C, D, right? And range of A and range of B is also A, B, C, D. Codomain means all elements of B you should write and range means all elements of B which are mapped we should write. So here all elements of B are present and all elements of B are also mapped. So codomain is equal to range here. Therefore this function is what function? What type of function? Onto function. Understood? Now if you observe here, this is anyone anyhow, this is what. So now if you observe what is the codomain of the second function. So here codomain is second set, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is set B completely. Next range. Range means whatever the elements are mapped, those elements only we should take. So 1, 2, 4 is the range. Is the codomain equal to range here? In the second function, if you consider codomain is not equal to range. Therefore, this function, such type of function is called what? Into function. Okay? At least now everybody understood what is a one function, many one function, onto function and into function. Okay? These are about types of functions. So let us understand detailed by using graphs. How to identify whether a function is one, many one, onto or into. First let us understand one and many one. For example, f of x is equal to x square and f of x is equal to mod x. In the place of f of x you can take y also. So y is equal to f of x is equal to x square and y is equal to f of x is equal to mod x. Okay? Now, small f of x. If I consider f of 0 is anyhow 0 square is 0. If I consider f of minus 1 is nothing but minus 1 whole square is 1. In the same way f of 1 is nothing but f of 1 whole square is also 1. So if I consider the set of values of this function in an arrow diagram, then this is set A and this is set B. Okay? Anyhow here 0, 1, minus 1 will be there. Here 0 and 1, 2, something like this will be there. Okay? If you consider here 0 is mapped to 0 only and 1 is mapped to 1 and minus 1 is also mapped to 1. Yes? So here more than one element is having same image in B. Right? So such a function is called what? Many one function. Understood? How to identify whether a function is many one or one? So this function is of what type? Many one function. Now let us see y is equal to mod x. Okay? So in the place of 0, if I write f of 0 is mod 0, anyhow mod 0 is 0. If I find out f of minus 1 is nothing but mod of minus 1. So in the place in between modulus, even if you write minus, this becomes plus only, no? So answer is plus 1. In the place of f of 1, so modulus of 1 is also plus 1. So if I represent this in the form of an arrow diagram, so here also set A and set B. Here this is a function f of x, not f. Okay? So here also function f A to B. Function f from A to B. Okay? Here also I am getting three values 0, 1, minus 1 and 0, 1, 2, something like that. Okay? Now 0 is mapped to 0 only, 1 is mapped to 1 and minus 1 is also mapped to 1. Am I correct? Yes? So here also for two elements we are getting the same image. Yes? Means more than one element is having the same image here. So this is also what type of function? Many one function. I hope everybody understood how to find out whether a function is one or many one. Yes. Now we have a shortcut also. Shortcut we can identify by using graph. Okay. So now let us draw the graph of. So we have shortcut. graphical method. So what we do in shortcut graphical method? First one is horizontal line test. Second one is vertical line test. What is horizontal line test and what is vertical line test? For what we are using this, I will explain now. So first one is what? Horizontal line test. So horizontal line test to check horizontal line test is to check whether a function is many one or one. Next, vertical line test. To check whether it is a function or not. Okay, whether a given curve is a function or not, we can test by using vertical line test. And to check whether a function is minimal or one, we can use horizontal line test. Okay, so let us take some examples and find out whether it is one or many one. Same examples I am taking. Y is equal to x square. So how is the graph of y is equal to x square? It's a parabola like this. In the differentiation explained in the chapter differentiation only I have explained how the graph of y is equal to x square like this. Yes, this is the graph of y is equal to x square. This is x axis, this is y axis. So now if I draw a line, horizontal line like this, passing through the curve, then this curve, this line is intersecting the curve at how many points? At more than one point, that is at 2 points, am I correct? So if a line intersects, if a line passing through the curve intersects the curve at more than one point, then such a curve is many one function. Understood? If a horizontal line drawn passing through a curve or a function and it intersects at more than one point, such a function is many one function. Understood? If a horizontal line drawn passing through a curve or a function, it intersects at more than one point, such a function is many one function. Okay, this is how we need to identify many one function or one function by using horizontal line test. So this is our horizontal line test, very important. Okay, shortcut to find out whether a curve is many one or one. So in the same way, if we consider f is equal to y is equal to mod x, so there also how the graph of y is equal to mod x? Yes, so this is y axis, this is x axis. So y is equal to mod x means we are having a sharp curve, sharp corner at the origin, that is 0. X is equal to 0, we are having sharp corner, right? So this is the curve of y is equal to mod x. Yes, this also I have explained in differentiation. Okay, so here also if I draw a line horizontal line passing through this curve. At how many points it is intersecting here? At 2 points, am I correct? Yes. So here also, if a horizontal line drawn passing through a curve or a function intersects at more than 1 point, such a function is many one function. So what type of function this is also now? Many one function. Understood? So this is a many one function. So let us see one functions now. So I am taking my example as y is equal to x cube. How the graph of y is equal to x cube will be? Means if x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. If x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1 only. If x is equal to 2, y is equal to 8. So positive, like this it will go. Okay, and negative, like this. Understood? So both it will be in positive direction and negative direction. So this is the graph of y is equal to x cube. Now if you draw horizontal line at any point on the curve, okay, it is intersecting at how many points? Only 1 point. Okay, so if the horizontal line intersects the curve at exactly 1 point, then such a function is one function. Understood? So now we are in horizontal line test only. Now we are finding whether a function is many one or one. So if a line, horizontal line, drawn passing through a curve intersects at exactly 1 point, such function is one function. Okay, if a horizontal line drawn passing through a curve intersects at exactly 1 point, such a function is one function. Now wherever you want you can draw. Here also I am drawing. Here also at how many points it is intersecting? Exactly 1 point, right? So this type of function is one type of function? One function. Now understood how to identify whether a function is one or many one? Yes, this is the very important shortcut, that is horizontal line test. Now let us move to vertical line test. When we can use vertical line test, let us see. So draw a sphere here. So this is my sphere. Okay. So if I draw a vertical line, so this is my vertical line passing through this curve sphere. How many points it is intersecting? More than 1 point. So if the line drawn vertically from any point on the curve, passing through the curve, then if it intersects at more than 1 point, then such a curve is never a function. Understood? Why? Because for one value of x, how many values of y we are getting? 2 values of y. Is it possible in a function? For suppose at x is equal to 1, I am getting y value as 2 and minus 2. So 2 and minus 2. So for one pre-image, how many images we are having? 2 images. So if it is having 2 images, it is called a function? So no, so not a function. Understood? When we draw a vertical line, it is intersecting at 2 points. It means it is having 2 images for one single point. This is the line x is equal to 1 on x-axis, and this is y is equal to this is y is equal to plus 2, and this is y is equal to minus 2. Okay, if the curve is intersecting and having two images for one point, then that is not a function. That's why this curve is not a function. Understood? This is how we can explain whether a curve is a function or not by using vertical line test. Next, now let us see trigonometric functions. So first, very important, sin x and cos x. Those two are very important. Others no need. Just listen. Only let us see what is sin x and cos x, whether it is a many one function or one function. Okay, first let us see sin x. So here, now the graph of sin x will be like this. So this is the graph of sin x, and this is the graph of cos x. Okay, this is x axis, this is y axis. This is the graph of y is equal to sin x, and this is the graph of y is equal to cos x. So now let us see the horizontal line test now. So if I draw the horizontal line like this, at how many points it is intersecting? 2 points. Yes. If a line intersects the curve at more than 1 point, then it is what type of function? Many one function. Yes. So this is what type of function? Many one function. Even if you draw here, wherever you draw, it is intersecting at 2 points, at more than 1 point. Such a function is called what? Many one function. So here also, here it is intersecting and here it is intersecting. Even if I draw down, here also it is intersecting at how many points? Here and here. So 2. So this is also what type of function? Many one function. Understood? So y is equal to sin x and y is equal to cos x are what type of functions? Many one functions. Okay? This is about how to identify many one function, one function. Okay? And whether a function is, whether given relation is a function or not. Next, we have some specific names for our types of functions. Let us see what are those. So now, next concept. Names of functions. So what is the name of one function? So one function is also called injective function, and onto function is also called surjective function. Okay, what's the name of one function? Injective function, and onto function is called surjective function. Okay, next, if a function is both one and onto, then that is bijective. Means in our new names, that is if a function is both injective and surjective. If a function is both injective and surjective, then that is bijective. Why we are using why? Because in the inverse of a function we need to use one and onto. That's why. And these names also injective and surjective. So in case of one, if I am using injective function, then that is what type of function? One function. In case of surjective function, is nothing but onto function. So function is both one plus onto, then that is called what? Bijective. In other words, we can say that injective plus surjective is bijective. Okay, plus means not to add. It should be satisfying both one function and onto function properties. Then only it is called bijective function. Understood? So now let us see about inverse of a function. Next concept. So y is equal to f of x. Yes. So f inverse x. When does f inverse x exist? exist only when the function is bijective. Why? Let us see why a function inverse of a function only exists only when the function is bijective. Okay. So first understand what is a bijective function. Bijective function means one function and onto function. Both together should be satisfied. Then that function is called bijective function. For suppose I am taking two sets A and B and I am defining a function f from A to B. Okay. If I am taking some elements 1, 2, 3, 4 inside A and A, B, C, D inside B. Okay. Now what I am doing means for every element of A I am giving a image, unique image in B. Yes. So that here this function is one function. Yes. And onto also. Why? Because why this is onto means here codomain and range of the function both are equal. Such type of function is one and onto. So if I reverse the case, means if I derive the function from B to A, whether the inverse of this function exists or not, let us see. So B to A. So this is f from B to A now. So here my B is A, B, C, D and A is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So inverse means I have to represent the relations like this now. So A is mapped to 1, B is mapped to 2, C is mapped to 3 and D is mapped to 4. So here also I am getting this function as one function. Why? Because every element of A, B is having unique image in A. Such function is called one function, and here if I observe codomain and range of the function are same, that is equal. So this is also one and onto. So if the function is one plus onto, that is bijective, then its inverse exists. Yes. So inverse exists here. Understood? For suppose the function is not bijective, then why the inverse is not existing, that also will see. Okay. The function is not bijective, then why its inverse is not existing. So same example I am taking A to B, this is a function, and B to A. Okay, let us see, this is a function for suppose. Whether afterwards we will decide whether it is a function or a relation. Okay. Now what I am doing means 1 I am mapping 1 with A and 2 with B and also 3 also with B and 4 I am mapping to B like this. Okay. Let us find out whether this is a function or not. Clearly by seeing the figure we can say that every element of A is mapped and every element of A is having one and only one image in B. Yes. So that this is a function. But what type of function this is? Many one function. And is this function onto or into? Into function. Right? This is satisfying both many ones and into. So if I reverse the case, if I map the function from B to A, then what type of result I am getting? Let us see. For suppose A is mapped to 1. And if I reverse this, B is mapped to how many here? 2 and 3. So B is mapped to 2 and B is mapped to 3. And D is mapped to 4. C is not mapped and D is mapped to 4. Okay? If we clearly observe, anyhow every element of A is not mapped here. Yes, so this is not a function. Yes, if this is not a function, how does F inverse exist? Function only not exist means it's not inverse. How does F so exist? Inverse also not exist. So inverse also does not exist. Understood? Why a function should be bijective for the inverse of a function to exist? This is the example. I hope it is clear for everyone now. Yes. So now let us see our last concept, that is even and odd functions. Just I will give when a function is called even and odd, and let us discuss briefly about that in the next class. With that, I am wrapping my today's class. So first let us see even and odd functions. When a function is called even and when a function is called odd. So this is even function, this is odd function. So first one, a function is called even function if f of minus x is equal to f of x, and a function is called odd function if f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. Okay, so now let us see some examples, general examples and trigonometric examples. So second point, example. Already we know that y is equal to x square and y is equal to mod x. Here examples are y is equal to x cube comma y is equal to x. And trigonometric functions, examples, cos x comma secant x, and remaining all are odd functions, that is sin x, cosecant x, tan x and cot x. These are all odd functions and these are all even functions. Okay, let us see what is an even. Okay, just I will explain x square and x cube, remaining will continue in the next class. Just listen. So y is equal to x square. So I can write f of x is equal to x square. So wherever x is there, you replace x with minus x there. So f of minus x is equal to minus x whole square. So anyhow we know that minus x whole square is x square, right? So x square is nothing but f of x. So f of minus x is equal to f of x. So this type of function is what type of function? Even function. Understood? Next. One more. Now we will take y is equal to x cube. So y is equal to, that is f of x is equal to x cube. Okay. Now the same logic we have to do, that is in place of x we should substitute minus x. So f of minus x whole cube is equal to minus x whole cube. That is minus x, how many times we have to write? Minus x into minus x into minus x. Minus into minus plus, plus into minus minus. So here we are getting minus x cube, that is minus f of x. Okay. So here f of x is equal to minus f of x. So this function is what type of function? Odd function. Understood? So students, this is our today's topic about how to find out whether a function is one and many one, or whether a given curve is a function or not, by using our shortcuts, that is horizontal line test and vertical line test. And afterwards I have discussed about inverse of a function and about even and odd functions. I hope you like my video. So if you like my video, share my video to your friends and inform them to subscribe my channel. If you are missing my previous videos, first go through my previous videos, then only you can understand today's video. So please like, share, comment. Thank you.